So this is for Brianna, who asked about doing citations in text or in an essay on WordPress, I think is what she's using, if I'm remembering correctly. So there are a couple ways you can do it. You could just do the traditional. So I'm in the Fun with WordPress account. I'm in our my example text here. So if you had a quote, let's say that this was a quote that you were using, you could kind of simply do this kind of, a citation that is parenthetical, so citation page number, and then at the end of that, or where you wanted to kind of put your citations, you can simply add, I think, a separator box. If you don't see this, just hit the browse all and you'll find a separator. So do a separator like that, and then add another paragraph down here, and you could name this paragraph bibliography or citations or notes, whatever you want to make it, right? And then put your citation list here, and then you'd have a citation in the parentheses up here, and then a list of citations right cited in there. That's fine. It's a little clunky and doesn't necessarily work as well as a footnote. So you can do the same thing. Let me delete all this, but with footnotes instead. All right, so I'm going to get rid of these blocks here. I'm going to get rid of those blocks. So I just erased everything. Let's say this is your quote again, right? So instead, this time what you might want to do is use your formatting table up here. And if you click on this little arrow, it will you can do a superscript. So if you click superscript there and type a 1 or a 2 or whatever number you want to put there, you can see that it adds a 1 in that space, right? I did an I instead of a 1. And then you can do the same kind of thing where right, so now you got your superscript up there. You would go here and, oops, I didn't mean to do that. I want to do this, add a separator, right? And then down here, you could do a new paragraph that just simply said footnotes, and then do a 1 and then your citation, right? If you're going to add another one, let's say we add another paragraph of text. So from here, right, let's say we go into another paragraph of text. Let's say that in this paragraph of text, there's a quote here. You could do the same thing, right? So your quote there is going to be, again, superscript. So you click on superscript like that, and you can do a, right, I. So if that's 1, right, the one above us is I. This is now I. And then down here, you would just add an I, and your citation. I think that's a cleaner way of doing it. The other thing that you could ultimately do is link this. All right, you can, where are the links? I've lost my, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's push that back up. Where are my links? There it is. You can link it to a space in an anchor point in this essay. So you could set a link on that, on this space, right? You could set a link that would then take you to this citation, and that way as people were reading your work, they could click there and it would drop it down into the citation if you wanted to. Or you can just leave it plain and people can do 2 to 2, right? 1 to 1, and it makes equal sense like that. So those are 2 ways of doing your citations in this project. And then you can always have a bibliography page too, right? Just kind of simply going back out to your editor, and you could add a new page, title that page bibliography, right? And then have your list of sources from the project. So I'll leave it at that. Hopefully that will help Brianna. That was probably maybe a little easier to do than to kind of type that up. So remember that you need to publish your pages when you make changes. I didn't do that on that other in that example, but do be sure that you're publishing any changes you make to your work. Otherwise, if you do go away from that page you just edited, so for example, if I go back to WordPress here, that bibliography page doesn't exist because I never published it or saved it. So make sure you're publishing your pages before you leave them and go back into your editors. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good weekend. That is that.